And we actually had callers at 1 in the morning.
Oh, really? Wow. So did you do that during college?
Yeah, it kind of helped me make a little money I wouldn't have had. You know what I mean? That's very important.
That'd be a fun way to do it.
Yeah, very important.
It is.
And then kind of what we planned on doing is, because we got a few things we've got to.
Yeah, and you can just call us up whenever you're ready.
So I think you're going to go right after, before our committees, and then he'll just counsel you guys to.
That's perfect. We are really not in a hurry. You're our last stop today.
Been one of them long days.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a Monday.
Especially on a Monday.
Monday's always rough to have a long day.
There's always a lot of meetings on Mondays.
There is.
And then nothing on Friday.
Yeah. Nothing on
But
Friday.
I'll take that.
I'll take that too.
But on Mondays, like all the council meetings, all the trustee meetings, all the school board meetings are all on Mondays.
There was an old rock and roll group was called the
Now how far do you have to travel back?
And Monday.
You got a ways to go, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My dad loves that song.
Yeah, it's a classic.
We'll just leave here and head back to Cincy.
Yeah.
And part of why I tagged along with Mary today is just because, like, I wanted to be here for this.
Sure, yeah, definitely.
So.
Yes, and we appreciate that.
No, I'm thrilled to death. I'm very thrilled about this. And Rebecca just is somebody who I really admire, and I just really love her work that she's done, and I really want to support her. So
Yeah.
you just grow attached.
Yeah, yeah. This will be good.
It's really awesome. Some of these, we lunched one earlier today in Pike County, and Courtney, I think we have worked with them for 3 years. And, setting up their checkbook was not hard. That was not the hard part. There was just
That's big enough.
a lot of things.
Perfect.
Like, I can't believe.
You guys have a good setup, and then you don't even need a
I just get so excited.
We have a great big projector we take for our Jeopardy board.
Have you been
We'll put that up there.
Yeah.
And we
Yeah, doing good. I mean, just a lot of busy stuff to do, and
it just,
it just seems like there's not enough hours in the day to do
Yeah,
that.
that's perfect.
and it's a lot of fun when we do that. So,
Oh yeah.
and then
Yeah, Mondays are usually my
that
days.
show we have.
But then when you think, oh, I'm going to get out of here early on Fridays.
That we can get everybody's ears open.
Nope. I don't.
But it is fun.
I might get to take a long lunch.
Great. Do you play around here locally?
Oh, yeah, yes.
Right.
John and I, we've been in, my brother and I have been in some sort of band ever
Actually
since
use
we
the
were
restroom.
Yeah.
teenagers.
You want me to? I'll tell you where it's at.
Very young, when I was 12 or 14. We called ourselves the Greenies. Mom said change the name. It sounds too rough. But then we went to Razor's Edge.
Okay.
But the Greenies sounded like I
Yeah.
But my mother didn't like the idea, so we changed the name of them. And we used to pay, there used to be a place called the PAL Center in Courthouse.
Okay.
And we used to pay there for team dances. So it was
Okay.
a lot of fun. And then recognition came, and then John went off to college, and everybody went off to college, and slowly it all disbanded.
Yeah.
Then we all got back together as we got old.
Yeah.
Shouldn't say old as we get going.
Well, that's fun. It's like
It's always fun.
reunion. Yeah. I'll get that fixed in a little bit.
I gotta show you this little, you know how I collect cowboy stuff? I brought to show you tonight. This goes with that coiners thing. The Red Ryder pocket knife.
Oh.
It's actually a bar though. There's a little ball you have to slide in that to get these boot. And I was at the flea market and got that. I got it for $2.50, so I can't complain. I wish it was original, but
These chairs, I roll everywhere.
Well, especially I used to sit. That's my sat in all the time. That one wants to roll.
It
everywhere.
does.
Every now and then, I'm trying to find me this one guy had a Red Ryder cap. This one an arm and a leg.
Certainly.
Where did you go?
It was right down there, as you're going to Hillsboro, It was
Yeah,
a
it was
big
in the
church.
packet.
They have like a flea market inside their church gym, and
I'm beside you.
they had
right
like
over me.
vendors all around. And this
No,
guy had a pair of Red Ryder cap pistols.
Wait for Becky is gonna have her look at, I mean, that's just a preliminary,
I
but
suspect he took them home with him too.
Oh yes, he did. He did.
Scott's had their flea market this past weekend.
I always go that.
Fairgrounds.
That's always got some good stuff at it. Dave McNeely and I always go to that one they always have down there by Lucasville.
I haven't been down there.
Usually you can't find no bargains though, but
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and
Yeah,
get a
sold it.
picture with all of council and the
Okay.
mayor with the picture here before we start the
are
meeting.
we just gonna do that like right here in the center, or?
Wherever, Mayor, you guys want to do it.
Right here in the middle.
We're gonna go ahead and take a picture now.
Picture or mugshot?
yeah, we get a mug shot.
With the checkbook sign.
That's what we're for right there.
Yep. Now, that's where Becky's at.
How's Clark Kent doing?
You all right?
Good, good.
Don't look straight forward.
No, I just did that, but I'll be blinded right now. Okay, picture sign.
Got picture.
And we're waiting for one council member. I think Billy's trying to get a hold of Becky to make sure.
Oh, we're not in any hurry.
Yeah.
Maybe jump the gun a little bit.
That's right. Becky, stand right here.
That's good because we're getting old. We don't like hurrying.
Okay.
Let me
Who's
get
that?
down around here.
I have a card.
Okay.
That would be helpful.
The rest I know.
You know these folks.
They've got name placards.
You know he's a mal-mannered reporter for a metropolitan newspaper.
We could probably stand up behind her too.
Yeah. Where's the sign, Mary?
Oh, right here.
Oh, she's got it. Courtney, you went in here?
Yes.
Yeah.
In the back.
You go stand up.
In the back.
You stand right next to
Oh, you're coming. Yeah, we're all standing right here. Both
You're not going to go up there on the podium?
Yeah. Yeah, we could probably get people on the back of the podium.
There we go. Yeah, we can do
Yeah.
that.
Yes, we
I'll
can.
be in the back of the
Oh,
podium.
that's a
I'll
good
be
idea.
back in the back end. I'll go back here.
You could have up to like 5 probably in front.
I'm the shortest, so I'll get in front.
We could be in the back of the podium. No, well, we'd be back.
We don't want to break the camera.
Yeah, we'd be back.
Ready to
there.
take a
We'd be
picture?
all right.
He's trying to call her and she's right there.
Yeah. Hey, Bill, we can stand up here. I thought maybe you and Walter would be about the podium here. Here, we'll shoot in the middle of the boss man.
I don't know about that.
Wait, I want to be in the back.
All right, get back here.
You come back with us then. I can't believe your camera shot.
You're all
You guys are.
scrunched up on that side, so kind of.
Even out
So, Tammy, you're the shortest, so you be right in the middle.
No, because then you see, we all gotta be together.
We
Here,
are.
you three in the front, and then I'll be in the back like this.
You don't have to be in the back, hon.
Yes,
You
no,
be in
I
the
don't want my
back.
picture taken.
Oh, come on, hon.
Keep your mouth shut and your eyes open.
Okay, I'll let her take hers first.
Take the picture.
1, 2. Courtney, maybe you get on the other
Get
side.
on,
This is not what I wanted.
No, you got it in the picture.
Come over here, Dave.
Come on, Courtney. Come
No,
on
I've
here.
got, I'm right behind you.
You're too backward here.
1, 2.
Oh, no.
You can't hide. You can't
What is
hide.
this, like a yearbook picture?
Get in the picture.
2, 3.
Fuzzy pickles.
That's good.
Very good.
Yeah,
Very good.
Yeah, she was the term behind for
Newspaper. Another one.
the Daily Planet.
Okay, then I'll be right back here. Go ahead.
Straighten out the checkbook, like, there you go.
We didn't like
What is this, Peter's photography or what?
She's determined to hide.
Wait, you look like a dork hiding back there.
Get up, run here.
Okay. You should be proud. Can you step a little bit closer to him? There we go. Oh, stop. Right there. Okay, we're gonna do several of these.
Mom, you're so cute. I got a smile.
Okay. One more.
So go in the mood.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, start a meeting. Okay.
Well, that's right, Bill. She don't want the paper. She told us.
Sorry.
I'm gonna
Connected.
Rebecca into
Oh, that's
the
true.
right?
We're beginning to wonder about you.
I was just pulling in. I forgot the password. I was trying to look through my emails to find it, and Billy called me. I'm like, what's the password to get in?
The year 2008.
You know what?
Yeah.
I was like, how can I remember this? Too many numbers. That's funny.
Yeah. Hey Becky, this is just a rough draft, but to me it has possibilities. Jack did that. Go ahead and keep that.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, David. Okay, that's better.
Sorry.
Like I'm gonna. I mean, I
Chair. It does. I had a hard time with that one last
Hanging in there, buddy.
4 years. That's a long
Navajo good luck shot.
Yes, it is.
I don't know if it was good for the Navajo. They got shot anyway.
Well, that's a good picture.
He said he did that like in no time at all, Becky. But it's kind of a neat start to it.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
What's she doing with it?
Yes.
Let's see it. So,
Miserable.
I should probably go get some tissues. Do either of you have tissues? I am sick. I'm gonna go grab. Do I have time?
You're sick.
I know. I won't kiss on you.
A little bit of toilet. To use this tissue. Because it's the
I think
same
it's a
problem.
thumbtack.
At least I'm better than what it was.
My nose just won't stop dripping. But it's okay now, but in the mornings, it's terrible.
2 weeks to get ready. I can live there.
I understand.
That's all I say.
I understand. Got everybody.
Okay, that's a biggie.
good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Mount Sterling Village Council meeting for February 26th. Please stand and join me with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Be seated, please. I got it. I see. Turn yourself.
Have you noticed that light just kind of... I can't notice that? Mm-hmm.
Roll call, please.
Lowell?
Yes.
Tom?
Here.
David?
Here.
Rebecca?
Here.
Tammy?
Here.
Becky?
Here.
All present.
Thank you. I assume you have all read the minutes from 2 weeks ago, 12th. I need a motion to accept the minutes for the last council
That
meeting.
motion, sir.
I'll second.
Thank you. Vote?
Lowell?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Rebecca?
Yes.
Tammy?
Yes.
And Becky?
Yes.
Thank you. Now, we're going to introduce Mary and Lauren from the Ohio Checkbook.
This much meeting minutes.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. But before we do that, but before I introduce you two, we did have a special meeting on the 22nd. I need a motion to accept the minutes from that meeting.
You have that motion, sir.
Thank you. Second. Thank you. Vote?
Lowell?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Rebecca?
Yes.
Tammy?
Yes.
And Becky?
Yes.
Thank you. Now I'll introduce Mary and Lauren with the Ohio Checkbook.
It's really good to be out here with you all, excuse me. And this really means a lot, and we're really celebrating, we're really elated. And here, I don't mean to block the view of the main event, but we are here to honor you and to really show our deep appreciation for your willingness to partner with the Treasurer's Office in the Ohio Checkbook Program. To give you a little bit of background, in December, and some of you may know this, but for those of you who don't, in December of 2014, we launched the state's checkbook online, and we published every last expenditure, every last dime of what state agencies spent, from the Ohio Arts Council to the other extremes, the Department of Transportation. You can know how much the Ohio Department of Education spent on $2 for packs of pencils. So we really wanted it on there so that you as a taxpayer could know how your hard-earned dollars were being spent. And at that point, having to have accomplished that, we thought, why not circle around to local governments and see if we can't work with them in their own respective communities to accomplish the same end. And so that is really what ultimately put me in touch with all of you. And it's been quite a journey here. And we just really are so thankful today that we have realized the end product for Mount Sterling, and that their checkbook ledger is available for review online, similar to the state's, and every last dime of taxpayer dollars will be tracked here at the village. And you know, this is a really important initiative because it's helping to paint a picture of the good work you're doing for the people of the village. And it's their hard-earned money. They have a right to know how it's spent. And this is a tool that makes it not only more accessible, but easier to understand. And that's a really important part of being transparent. Because not that the information wasn't always available and that people couldn't always ask for it, but you know, when it's at their fingertips and it's there in graphical representation, and they can use the Google-style search bar to find any last piece of expenditure information, you know, this really makes it convenient and easy for them. So thank you so much for going to the lengths you have to deliver this product to your citizens, and we're really, really proud to have worked with you all on this. We really, really are. So anyhow, we thought that maybe we'd show you just a little bit of the functionality of your own platform so that you find folks have a frame of reference for how it operates, and I think Mary will.
Yeah. So as a result of launching this initiative, it's taken our state's financial transparency ranking from 46th in the nation to 1st. And we now have more than 1,200 governments across the state that are partnering with us. So you all are helping us to maintain that #1 ranking by participating as well. And we're hearing great feedbacks from both the local governments and community members where these sites are in place. So hopefully this demo will help you all understand the functionality and how it might help you. I know a few of you have seen it before, but for those of you that haven't, I'll just start from the beginning. So you can see that you all are showing 4 years of spending data, and the total for that spending data is down here in the left-hand corner. So it's about $12.1 million in spending. Over those 4 years, that includes 5,441 transactions, and every single one of those transactions are listed below here in this Excel-style spreadsheet, and it works like that. You can sort it, you can filter it. If you want to click on a transaction to view more details, you just click on it and click View Check Details. Oh no, my internet died down. 1 second. Let me just, I thought I had synced it back up.
So the checkbook works great. Sometimes it's just the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Technology.
It is based on the internet.
All right, it'll pop back up here. But essentially, so as we wait for the internet to come on, it puts the transaction details in the form of a check so that it looks like your own personal checkbook. So it's easy for folks to understand what a check looks like. They don't have to go through pages and pages of multi-fund accounting information that might not be very easy for them to understand. So you click on it, you click View Check Details, and it pops up. You can see the check number, the check date, the total. If they have a question, they can click on this button, and Courtney will get a notification that someone had a question about a payment, so she can answer it. So it really helps too if Courtney gets any public records requests It's nice to refer people to online to view village expenditure information. So the graph is very interactive. You can see right now it's broken down by program description, and each of the programs are listed here from biggest to smallest. You can hover over them and get totals, or you can click on one, and click capital outlay, and view your capital outlay spending. So you see the totals change, 83 transactions, totaling $3.3 million in spending. And you can view your capital outlay expenditures just like the whole picture. You can break the spending down in different ways. So if you want to view it by object description or fund, payee is very popular. If you click payee, you get a list of your vendors and your spending broken down by vendor. So it's quick. You have a quick list of who your top paid vendors are, and you could click on a vendor and just view spending with that vendor. So it's a helpful way to be able to view the line by line expenditures, but also totals for spending as well. So and if you just keep hitting the reset button, it'll take you right back to your original view. So, does anybody have any questions, I guess, or can I give any other tips or advice on navigating the site? Okay. Oh, one last thing I want to highlight, again, is the Google style search bar. That's something that we think makes the site the most intuitive and user-friendly, because if you think about how folks are familiar with accessing information nowadays, it's Google, right? You go to Google and you type in and you get a list of results. So we were just looking at the ME vendor, I believe it was. I think I didn't show. It pops up just like Google, a predictive list of results, and it shows you it's a vendor. So you can click on it, and it takes you to a view of the spending. So, all right. Well, thank you again for your time. We're just so honored to be able to bring this site to your village, and just want to especially thank Rebecca and Courtney for all their work to get this up and running.
We're terribly excited. This is one of the best days I've had in this job, so we're just really delighted.
I just want to say it's so good we got this now. We're moving up to the 21st century, and it's going to be a lot. Being a member of the finance committee, and I bet Courtney will agree, it's going to make it a lot better. And I appreciate you ladies coming to the show and everything.
I do have one question for you real quick. We want to put a link to this on our village website.
Perfect.
So if we just put a link to that mountsterling.ohiocheckbook.com, there's no passwords or anything like that?
That's your own unique URL. We're happy to help provide an Ohio checkbook button, if you will, and we can get that to you. But I'm assuming because they're looking at you, you're the one that does it. We can get that to you.
Yeah, we'd love our residents to go to one place and to be able to click on and get to this wonderful program to start taking a look at it.
We highly recommend that if you do have a website, to link it there. It's just a one-stop shop for people in the village that way.
Exactly.
So
We can also add a link to your website on here as well if you'd like. So we can go back.
Nice. Thank you guys so much.
Appreciate it.
We appreciate all of you. Don't be afraid to call us. We're always here. It's always good to hear from you.
We hope it helps you.
And just to kind of add on to that too, is I encourage all of the residents to also ask the questions, like Mary and Lauren said, is click the button, ask the question, and then I would, get back to you in a timely manner. So thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Yep.
Thank you.
It's basically updated however the village would like. So did you all decide how often we were going to update?
We can do it quarterly.
Very similar to that sign.
Is it? It's not real time. But
Yeah, it's already on our website. It's
Oh, it
just,
is?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
just waiting to be activated.
I do, yes, absolutely.
Moving right along here. Let's move right along. He wants to go home. Okay, next on your agenda, Sheriff's Department. Mr. Deal.
In your packets, you have the 5-year comparison report. Nobody has any questions? If you notice in there, none of that's EMS stuff, EMS and fire. It's just all Sheriff's Office related information.
I do like it how you have the comparison each year.
I do too. That's really interesting.
Well, that kind of gives you guys an idea of what's going on, what's taking place.
Mr. Mayor, while we're having the sheriff report tonight, I would like to take time to remember all the students that were killed in Florida. At times, I think your child's safety is so important. I'm so glad that we have a good and loyal law enforcement here, and I just pray for them families that lost their loved ones. It's never easy, and living in these times, but you just never know what can happen. So in the village here, hug your child as they go to school tomorrow, because we never know.
Okay. Any questions about the sheriff's report? Comparison report? Next order is utilities clerk, Misty Vance.
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank the guys for being just so diligent on replacing the meters. I think we're down to around 4, so we're just waiting on some approval from council to get some more boxes in. And our delinquencies are just a little under 5,000, so it's come a long way. One of our next projects, besides the meters, are that Billy and I will be working on, is that I printed off the auditor's website all the parcel numbers from our village, and so we're just going to just check off one by one and make sure that either the water's either turned off, or there's no one occupying that home, or they're getting charged as they should. And that's the only, it's going to take a while, but it's one way to ensure that we're getting in what we should be. I have also put in a request to LexisNexis as our through VitalCheck. They support VitalCheck, our credit card system, to start accepting payments online. So it's different fees involved. If just things as simple as if someone doesn't have their account number, they'll want to charge us to have that ability on the website for them to look it up. And I said, no, like for example, my electric, if I want to pay my electric online, I need to know my account number. I can't look it up online. So, but it'll probably be like as it is now, a small fee for the customers to be able to use that service. But I'm just put that in on Friday. So should know pretty quickly how much that would be or how much they will get charged. But what an added convenience. It's, just to be able to get on your phone just to make a payment. Pretty simple.
There was one other thing that was very important. The check reader is fixed. That was a nightmare. She went through a nightmare trying to get it, I guess, reprogrammed or.
It was over 6 hours on hold. The last time I called, they said, "Can I put you on hold?" And I said, "No." You cannot put me on hold. AEP trying to get a hold of them, it's been a situation, but trying to get a pole fixed out by the sewer plant and removed. So kind of similar.
And we still are reviewing our billing method, or the quality of our billing method.
The money that we receive, it is. If you look at it, it's way more accurate than it was before, but it's also unfortunately less than we were getting before. So we're just looking at some rates to support the in and out here. when I first started, people were asking me then, we have a new water plant, when's the rates going up? I mean, I heard it so many times. So we're just reviewing, seeing what we can do, seeing more ways that we can maybe supply our water to out of town by tankers, by filling pools, whatever it may be, different outlets that that wasn't looked at before.
We got plenty of water to sell.
I'm sure there's.
And we're gonna try to sell it to anybody who wants to buy it.
That's right.
Hey, Mitzi, I got one question. One of the residents asked last week, when's the open house in March going to be for the water plant? I remember we had that question. Have we set a date yet, or?
That was kind of what I was gonna ask.
Yeah.
We have not set a date because they're not finished.
Okay.
There's still a lot of little issues and problems, and they want to get it finished before we invite the public in.
The bills are going to be, the plans are for them to go out tomorrow. So I'll have yours for you all. So are there any more questions that maybe I can answer? If not, maybe I'll help out here.
What was the beginning total outstanding when you started?
There was around 19,000.
I think in one of the reports it said 60. 60,000. So
Maybe I'm not sure.
read that
In the
in some of the
pastor, I think that there was quite a bit written off at times.
Before you.
Yeah, as before I was here.
Yeah.
I didn't write off any.
I think the previous
Yes.
clerk wrote off a lot.
On her own.
On her own, wrote off a lot.
But I read that somewhere.
But not since she's been here.
No.
I can't. I don't make any adjustments. I don't have authority to make any adjustments, even if it's $5 on my own. Nor do I want that authority.
Very good. Any questions?
Mitzi, I got one say, a couple of residents said they love the way you work with people at the desk, and that's a good thing. You take time with them and willing to answer their questions, and that's a good positive.
Well, thank
It does.
you. Thank you. That's what I'm here for.
Thank you very much. Do you need excused?
That'd be good.
Okay, you're excused. Good night, honey. Law director.
I have no report, Mayor.
He's got nothing.
Nothing.
No report, as noted, as always.
Write that down. He's got nothing. I'm sure she does.
Yeah.
She'll more than make it.
I'm letting her have the additional time.
Yeah. He's signed it this time over to you.
Yes.
I'll give you some things to
Fiscal officer.
Okay. Again, I just wanted to thank Lauren and Mary coming down here to introduce this to our residents. And I actually want to say a quote from Rebecca here. That the Village of the Mount Sterling is committed to rebuilding communication, trust, and transparency with our residents, says Councilmember Rebecca Burns. We are proud to be partnering with the State of Treasurer's Office to make it easier for the community to access and understand our village expenditures and information. Launching this website is just one example of the efforts that we are making to move forward with the village in a positive path. So thank you for helping us with that. Kind of like what Billy was saying is there are some issues down at our water plant that we're working to fix, and we do want to establish something with council to see when would be a good time. Again, we'll give you the okay of, once we get things, taken care of there. We are working with IDI and JCAR and getting those items resolved. And I just wanted to thank the employees. I think, Missy touched a lot on this, is to thank the employees in regards to helping with everything and anything. All of the village employees have, I know Tyler's taken on, carrying over with some stuff at our water plant and making sure things are taken care of. I want to thank him, and I also want to thank, things down at the sewer plant that, things are taken care of there, and violations and issues there are resolved. I also want to thank Ryan Dennis for taking care of, the water meters and making sure that those are installed. I know they are very diligent in making strides to gain revenue and process that information. So I just wanted to thank them. take the opportunity. And I think I'm good on village updates. There's not much to say. We are going to be, once the weather starts breaking, as you can tell, I've received a few phone calls about potholes. Once the weather breaks, we do tend to go out there, and we've already kind of marked some of the troubled spots. We are going to get to those. So, like I said, the residents are calling in asking when that's going to happen. Once the weather breaks, we are looking to get out there.
We've got a big project down the sewer plant.
Yes. We have a project down at the sewer plant that we are contracting with Jake Morrison to get some of the tile rebuilt there. We kind of had a
sinkhole.
Like a sinkhole.
A 4-foot sinkhole that could have caused some problems with people and businesses and drivers dropping stuff off. We wanted to make sure that was taken care of, so that's going to be a big project for the next week or two to get that repaired. So keep an eye out there, if the residents happen to be driving past there. There's going to be equipment on the side of the road, so please use caution with that. And I think that's it for the village updates. I'm going to go into my reports. Is that all right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The first report you guys will see is the appropriation status. And the good thing about this is the appropriation status shows a expenditure of 7.24%, which is very good in the general fund.
Yeah.
And again, some of the bigger funds that we look at is the water fund. We only showed 3% of expenditure on that, so that's very good. And I also wanted to make note that as Thursday, in case a lot of people are watching this video, we did approve our 5-year plan. So that's been approved. Again, LGS came down here to introduce it to council, and we passed it. And that is available if anybody would like to see that. I can let anybody see that if they need to. Okay, so appropriation. Any questions on that one? How about the payment listings? The payments listing, these payment listings were approved on February 12th by Finance. Not a lot of activity on here. Some things to point out. Of course, we have advertising because we've passed a lot of legislation lately.
Yeah.
A lot of that advertisement, you'll see that for the next couple months. Any questions on that? Okay. And cash summary by fund. What a great number there we see in the general fund.
Yeah.
68,000 positive. And again, the Moving Ohio Forward, once I receive the okay from the state, I will be transferring that to a zero balance. So that will have a zero balance instead of 36,000 you guys see there. Any questions on that? Quiet today.
It is quiet.
And receipt listing. Again, there were 2 lots that were actually sold in the month of February at the Miranda Homes.
Really?
Yep. 2 lots on that. And again, you'll see the revenue from the water and sewer and Rita. And I'm going to be having the Rita rep down here to kind of meet with me to go over some additional programs that we can be involved in regards to delinquencies, also other free services that they provide, and I'm looking forward to doing that in the next couple weeks.
That is nice.
Last but not least, the Rita. If you guys noticed here that for February the 1st, there was a net of $71,456, and on 2/14, a net of $6,145. Any questions? It's a tough crowd.
Courtney, the good thing is we're keeping everything really out in the open, and that is really good. And there isn't no part where it's not people, just like the mayor said, where everything we do, we're just going to show what we do, and there's never, that way if they have questions, they can ask questions, which is a good thing.
And I have the bank reconciliation. I'm going to be passing this around to you guys. If you can sign this, it is balanced, again, working with a new rep and the bank to eliminate some of those fees that they charged us, has been taken care of. You guys, if you could sign that, please. And I think I'm done.
Do we need to vote on each of the reports?
Yes. I think I'm finished with my presentation.
Wow, that was short. Okay. Caught me off guard.
I know, it caught me off guard.
Yeah. Okay, very good.
Thank you, Mark.
Very good, Courtney.
Mr. Pitstick.
Okay, reshuffle your stuff and I need a motion to accept the appropriation status report.
I make the motion, sir.
Thanks, sir. Thank you. I need a vote.
Lowell?
Yes?
David?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Rebecca?
Yes.
Tammy?
Yes.
Becky?
Yes.
Thank you. Now I need a motion to accept the cash summary by fund report.
Yes, sir.
Thanks,
I make
sir.
a motion.
Second, please.
I'll second.
Thank you. Vote.
Yes?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Rebecca?
Yes.
Tammy?
Yes.
And Becky?
Yes.
Thank you. Now I need a motion to accept your receipt listing report.
Yeah.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Thank you.
Lowell?
Yes?
David?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Rebecca?
Yes.
Tammy?
Yes.
And Becky?
Yes.
Thank you. Sign it. Now I need a motion to accept the payment listing report. Please.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Thank you. A vote?
Yes?
David?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Rebecca?
Yes.
Becky?
Yes.
And Tammy?
Yes.
Oh, she changed it up.
Trying to keep everybody on guard.
I need a motion to accept the Rita report.
You have that motion, sir.
Thank you, sir. Second, please. Rita.
I'll second.
Thank you.
Lowell?
Yes?
David?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Rebecca?
Yes.
Tammy?
Yes.
And Becky?
Yes.
Thank you. Now, I need a motion to accept what you just signed. The bank reconciliation for February of 2018.
I'll make that motion, sir.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Thank you.
Lowell?
Yes?
David?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Rebecca?
Yes.
Tammy?
Yes.
And Becky?
Yes.
Thank you. Moving right along. I will. One of our village employees came in this afternoon, David Klein, which is our sewer plant operator. He turned in his written resignation from employment for the village of Mount Sterling. My last day of employment will be March 9th, 2018. Please acknowledge this letter to my official notice of resignation, and he will do his best to ensure that all the work is completed and ensure a smooth transaction for my department. I wish the village continued success, which we accepted his resignation as our sewer Class 1 operator.
You'll have to have council approval
Ye-
and make that a motion.
Yes. That's what I was gonna, yes. A motion and a second to accept David Klein as an employee.
I'll make that motion.
That you seconded it.
Or second it.
Thank you very much.
I would offer comments on that. Very nice person to work with. dedicated, quiet,
Mm-hmm.
and very dedicated to the village.
Good employee. Very good employee.
Very good employee.
But our understanding is that he wanted to go out on his own. As a lot of water and sewage people do, they do a lot of contract work,
You probably have to have work on the licensing.
probably.
Probably has that problem to work
Yeah.
on.
We wish him well, though.
We wish him
Yes.
well, that's right. Vote. Did we vote?
Lowell,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Rebecca,
Yes.
Tammy,
Yes.
and Becky.
Yes.
Thank you. Committee reports. Finance. Rebecca Burns.
There's really not a whole lot to report, just in case, just to really clarify, we had a special council meeting last Thursday, and all that was, Finance had been working very hard to come up with a 5-year plan for the general fund, the two funds actually that put us in the fiscal emergency. And we had come up with it, we worked really hard, meeting every week, and council passed our 5-year plan. Now, it had to be to Melissa Snyder, who's the head of our financial commission that's overseeing this. And it had to be in her hands no later than the 28th of February. We got it there prior to that. So, you know, just a big thank you to all of council and to finance for working so hard to do that. The next financial commission meeting is on March 6th at 10 a.m. That's going to be here at Town Hall. And that is open to the public. So I just wanted to let everybody know that date also. March 6th at 10 a.m. And that's all.
Thank you. Pleasant Township. Becky Martin.
Yes, I went to the meeting, very short, concise meeting, about 18 minutes long. It was nice. They just paid bills and told their next meeting will be the first Monday of March.
That was a good meeting.
Yeah. I could have left the car running.
Yes. Thank you. Squad. Mr. Anderson.
The squad met last week, and beyond paying the bills, they adopted a backing policy. So if you back one of the vehicles, you better have somebody there with you directing you on it, because they've had some accidents and there's been some property damage, and they're going to avoid that. Some people get into the trucks and back them, and
I don't understand.
vehicles and everything else.
I don't understand what
If you're back, you have to have a person with you when you back the vehicles. You can't.
An EMT vehicle?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, that's the policy they adopted because they're getting property damage and insurance claims and public claims because they're hitting public cars.
Not good.
Cars, so they adopted a policy.
Okay.
So anyway, that was, I guess, for lack of a better word, it's the backing policy.
I'll be,
Can't
okay.
back those vehicles
Very good.
unless you have somebody spotting what you're doing. Okay, the other, they did accept some resignations. They didn't hire anyone, they did that.
Who resigned? Who?
They didn't, I don't have the names with me.
Oh.
But they did accept some resignations. I'd rather not say who they are. There's some people that just don't respond. Their names are on the book, but they don't come when their calls are. So they relieve them of their responsibility.
I understand.
Best way to say that.
I understand.
All right, one more thing is that we had to write off runs, meaning some people from out of state may have an accident or something out on 71 demanding carriage to the local hospitals, and sometimes has to be a freebie because either they don't have insurance or they cannot collect it. So say you run with $600 or $700, $650 or whatever, your insurance won't pay it. They're out of state. You can't contact them, or you can't, even though you have the information. They go through a process of trying to collect. We have a collection agency, and they are not collectible.
Mhm.
So they had to write some of those off. That's it as far as the meeting was concerned, and they passed around the reconciliation, which we do here, and we all signed that. I think Luana's looking to the fact that we'll probably have an audit this year. So that's all I have to report.
Very good. Fire, Mr. Ward.
Fire department does not meet until the 28th, so there's nothing tonight.
Very good. Water and wastewater, Rebecca.
Really, there's nothing to report at this time. I know that there's a lot ahead of us. Luckily, we do have the contract with Brian Arledge, so I know that our operator of record is still covered for the water and the wastewater plants. I'm sure we'll be meeting in the near future to discuss what our options are, but we don't have a meeting scheduled quite at this time, but I will keep everyone posted as things progress with that.
Thank you. Streets, Rebecca.
Nothing to report at this time.
Just the word horrible. Huh? Streets are horrible. We'll have to take that up later. I'm actually working on that right now.
Future meeting.
Huh?
Definitely a future meeting.
Yeah. I called a guy today and I told him how serious our situation was here, and he's supposed to be down this week with an engineer and talk about maybe some street grants.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So I'll fill you all in as soon as there's really something to tell you. I'm working on it. I can tell you that.
The county engineer.
Well, actually, I am working with a county engineer. They're going to do what we know as the Crawford project. They're going to start on it in early summer. We've already got the paperwork where the cost. See, we wasn't allowed to start anything new. She told me in very short words, you're not starting anything new. So I had to call the engineer and make sure that this had something that you had maybe had started. And if he had the paperwork that showed us, and he did, he sent it to us.
Good.
So the engineer is going to take that job on. Now we do have to pay for the tile, which we've agreed to do. He give us a price listing, and she, as always, is going to try to get the tile at a lower cost. That's what she does, and hopefully by, I believe he said May or June, we'll have that, what we all know as the Crawford Ditch project finished, which will probably go into another project. But
we need it tonight.
Yeah.
Yesterday, this past
yeah,
week.
it needs to be taken care of, and we're going to take care of it.
Well, I'm glad, because I promised that, and we worked very hard on that, and we get promises that we never fulfill.
Yeah, I actually am having a meeting with him, Brian, the engineer, with the representative from county commissioner, and a home builder by the name of Beachy, the 28th out at Julick Drive. There are going to be some new homes built out there, and as soon as the weather breaks. So Brian's going to help us with the engineering part of it, of the dimensions and diagrams and requirements for streets and curbs and stuff like that. So we got a meeting on the 28th out there for that, and I'm going to take him over. I actually want him to show me, and not on paper, how they're going to do that Crawford Ditch thing. He showed me on paper, but unless I see it because the homes or actually the whole lot has actually changed. It's been filled in a lot in the last several years. When the land used to be pretty even and we put fence in, now there's dirt piled up 2 feet on the chain link fence where they used fill. So we're going to walk through that whole thing when they're down to 28th, weather permitting. So I'll be able to tell you much more after the 28th, I'm sure.
Part of the deal was the trade-off deal. We have the equipment, and they could borrow that equipment too to make our project even cheaper.
Yeah, well, he's going to furnish his own equipment. They're going to do all the labor. All we have to pay for is material. And we agreed to that.
Well, that's what we had agreed to.
Tell me we agreed to that. There we go. We agreed to that. We did agree to that. Trust me.
These are 2 separate projects. You're talking about Beachy's project and the Crawford ditch are not combined.
No, they're not.
Keep that in mind.
They're not combined. I thought I'd take advantage while they were all here to show them some of the problems that we have with that Crawford ditch project. I want to know where it's going to start because we got some real issues with the whole Cliffview division. That's unforgivable almost. The condition that the prior administrations, not you people, but people before us, has let those areas deteriorate. They're horrible, actually horrible, and now we're paying for it because we're having main breaks over there. We got one leaking right now, and we suspect another one leaking. So I want to show them what we got instead of call them, tell them.
Well, don't necessarily blame previous administrations as much as private individual projects. This Pleasant Ridge project, from the very beginning, I think we avoided something like that happening out at Miranda Homes because we were on top of it and said, no, this is not going to be.
Well, that too.
It is true.
But
and it's
we're the overseers of this community, and someone allowed that to happen.
Yes, because
they allowed that to happen.
We had control, but we didn't have control.
Right.
It was allowed, like you said, to happen.
It was allowed to happen. Now we're going to have to pay for it.
Right. We've already paid for the Market Street going across the ravine. That was a project that collapsed a few years ago, and we had to make a repair on that.
So hopefully we can get some help. I got the engineer coming down this week. Next committee, Parks and Rec.
Okay, we're hoping to schedule a meeting within the next week or two. I thought I'd have a date by tonight, but I don't. But I will be sending an email out. There are things coming up to discuss, so I should have something to report at the next meeting.
Very good. Very good. Record of retention, Mr. Anderson.
Nothing to report yet.
Nothing to report. Nuisance and abatement, Tammy Van Sickle.
Yes.
You're on.
We've scheduled a meeting for Wednesday, the 28th at 3:30. And coming down is Jennifer from the health department. She's going to talk to us. And Jack's got a few things to show you and add to this.
Always pushing the buck, aren't you?
Yeah.
I handed out 24 notices so far since our last meeting. Most are complying. Others are calling in, asking for more time, which if they call in, I give them more time because I want to work with them. The more I work with them, the better job they're going to do at cleaning up. If I'm too lenient on them, they're not going to do anything. But I'm staying on top of them. There's so much work to do in this town on that.
So much.
Oh my.
A lot of work to
I've been
do.
out riding around, and it's like, Oh, my goodness.
Yeah,
I don't have enough film in my camera, and it don't even hold film.
I know. It's been a terrible mess for years and years. We've been so lax and non-compliant about any issues almost. But now I'm glad that you're being fair, and I'm glad that you're being firm.
Yes.
And that's the way I understand that nuisance abatement's running, and that works well with me.
And if you're out riding around and you see me with one of these, that's what I'm doing. I'm tagging somebody's house for a nuisance problem. And if you see me standing there taking a picture of it, that's because our law director loves pictures for some reason, so.
Yes, he does.
I get a selfie with it.
Very good.
And residents have been very open, you know, in regards to reaching out and using that link to report stuff.
Yes.
I know I've gotten phone calls, and it sounds like the community is getting involved in it, which is good.
Well, and that's the thing. If we get the community backing us, we can get this town cleaned up.
Yep.
Absolutely.
You know,
And I think they will. I know they will.
alone, it's going to be like pulling teeth.
I know we will. We're still a very proud community after all we've been through. Is that it? All right, thank you very much. Block Watch. Mr. Ward.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Dill was kind enough to make some flyers, and I've been taking them out and I've been passing them out to some of the businesses in the area. So far, it's been Chase Bank and over here at the drive-thru. Then I came down with the flu bug and I put a squash on that real quick. But I want to continue now that I'm over the flu, and I want to get them passed out to all the churches and just make it a whole lot easier and a whole lot more accessible to everybody that goes to the churches and stuff to get more information, what they need. They can sign up with it and drop it off. And so did Jack, thank you for that. I appreciate it, buddy. And then, like I say, due to the severity of this flu bug that everybody's had, there's been no meeting set. I'm not going to set a meeting for another 2 weeks.
We
yet.
understand. We understand, don't we?
So just keep your ears and eyes open.
We went through it.
And we'll get it out there. As far as Jack, I want to thank you and all the law enforcement, because I know you had a very rough week with the shooting they had and all that. And of course, we had issues here in our state too. And I want to thank you for everything you've done, and also all your colleagues. Appreciate it, buddy. Thank you.
Well,
That's all, Mr. Mayor.
I want to thank you.
Thank you, sir.
And you. That Block Watch part, that group, that's amazing, the responses I've heard from people and read on social network. And I couldn't be more proud of what's going on as far as that thing is. The signs that we've got that's going to go up, the people, the responsible people that, you know, that seem like they want to get involved in that. I'm very proud that we got that thing up and running like you did. Thank you very much. You're doing a good job on that.
Thank you, sir.
We have no ordinances and resolutions, thank goodness. But it is round table time.
Can I just add something real quick?
No.
Oh, here she goes.
From our last meeting, Becky had mentioned that there was a free meeting or training that was going to be held by Steve Prone for the public records. I've reached out to him, and unfortunately it's during our council meeting in March. So I've asked if there was any literature or anything that they could forward on to us that would be of use. So I'll try and see if they have anything and I can forward it to everybody.
We might change our meeting.
But that is that will be in your best practices under this physical emergency. So under our 5-year plan, they will want to see, and that's why I'm interested to see if they have something, because we'll have to have it posted somewhere out in our lobby. So I'll let you guys know.
What is the date of that?
It would be I believe it said March the 12th, which is our
That's our first meeting in March.
We could change our meeting so that our council members could get the benefit of that. We could go to the 19th.
And I believe that it was at 8 o'clock at night is when they were holding it. But they were holding it with the township is where they were going to do it.
Over here?
I don't think it's over here. I think he mentioned the location.
We're starting.
but I've reached out to him to see if there's any.
We could start our meeting early or on a different date.
We could start at 6 and we could get there.
Huh?
I said if we started at 6 or something, we could get there at 8 to London, but.
Like tonight, you could make it because we've only been here an hour.
So we'll look into that. I'll see if he has literature, and then I can always get with one of the fiscal officers.
Check back with Courtney, what you think, an idea you got, starting earlier, changing the date, and then we'll decide works best. Round table. Who wants to start off?
I'll have a festival report. We don't have a meeting till March 22nd, and also on February 23rd, 1945, my Uncle Max actually witnessed the flag raising on Suribachi, and which one of the residents of our village at one time, which everybody knew, he won the Navy Cross that time and everything, and just wanted to acknowledge that.
Anything, Tom?
I just want everybody to not take law enforcement for granted. You never know if that man's going to go home the next day or not, because this past week has showed that with everything that's been going on here in this country. And this is where we can help him through that block watch. We can be the extra set of eyes to help protect them. Okay? And Jack, again, thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. That's all, sir.
Mr. A.
No.
Any one of the girls over here? You want to say something?
Saturday, March the 3rd, is the last sign up for the Mount Sterling Eagles Youth League baseball t-ball. So residents, get your children signed up. I believe they accommodate children from 4 to 15, I believe. So it's over at the community center from 9 a.m. to 1. And that same day, I believe Madison Plains has their big annual boosters raffle Saturday also. So any support they can get, I'm sure, would be appreciated Saturday. And we will be having a chamber business appreciation dinner March the 15th at the American Legion, and that's for all business owners or their representative out there. So those are the things. And then there's also a historic walk coming up March the 17th. I believe I see it on the fire department marquee, and Tavion is doing a historic walk of the community and has some really good information if you are interested in learning more about our community.
Very good. Thank you very much. Now it's your guys' turn.
Me.
Go right ahead. Go right ahead.
I just want to update you on the James Cotton football camp. The 8 to 12-year-olds, we've got 13 spots left out of 75.
Wow.
And we're still 4 months away from the football camp.
Mm-hmm.
The older group, we got a long way to go. So as we go, we may be moving 11 and 12-year-olds up for the older group, because we're going to have so many other groups. So I just wanted to update you on that. The Community Days Festival, Parks and Rec is going to have a float in the parade. I'm not going to divulge what the float's going to be, but you're going to be very proud of it, and it's going to be very well received by the community. Trust me.
Good.
It's a secret.
It's a secret, and I'm not only one person up here knows. They better not get out.
I'm not saying anything.
I won't tell them. I promise.
No, Rebecca.
Hey, Jack, I got a question for you. What about the rumor about the Family Feud game we talked about? Is that going to come out?
That's what I'm coming up with.
Okay.
Parks and Rec is going to do movie night. We're going to discuss it in our next meeting as to how we're going to go about it, but we're looking at June 16th. It's a Saturday night. Hopefully it doesn't rain. It's nice weather. We can get a lot of families over across the street here. But prior to that, we're going to feud night. Now, I did bring in the game, and put it up there and let people see how it worked. And it's just like watching TV. I do have somebody working on my buttons, my lockout buttons. So it's going to be just like the TV show. And, you know,
That'll be so much fun.
And that's a big deal in a lot of communities too.
Yep.
It is.
It is a big, big deal.
This is gonna be a lot of fun.
Outside,
Uh-huh.
across the street,
Mhm.
where it's visible to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully it's very well attended. I've already got registrations, teams to play. So
Very good.
just something to get the community outside together.
Very good. Very good.
So do we know when the start?
No.
That's going to be a Parks and Rec's decision.
Oh.
Yeah.
And we're going to keep that secret until the
Sorry, I'm just trying to make
Courtney will be ready.
He's got a lot of secrets.
Any other visitor comments?
Hey, Jack,
It's
I
your
have
turn.
a question. I have a question for Jack about the football camp. The older kids, I know last year it was a conflict with Madison Plains football camp for like middle school and high school. They were gone to camp during James Cotton. Have you looked into seeing if the schools are?
Their camp is at the end of July.
So would they be interested in coming to this camp?
Most of them are lifting weights and they're doing 7-on-7. So a lot of your high school kids are like Madison Plains. Their quarterbacks, wide receivers, running backs are all doing 7-on-7. Your linemen and tight ends and linebackers, they're all doing what they call lineman drills during the 7-on-7. So the entire team is working, and they can schedule as many as they want. So they can play about every other day if they wanted. So a lot of your schools are doing that now just to get certain plays in without actually using the practice to do it.
Yeah. Okay, I just knew we had, in the past, it's always been the older kids that seem to have the lower turnout. Of course, the little kids are excited to do it, but it would be nice if the schools, if they had the opportunity, you know,
They've got the opportunity.
Yeah.
It's just
if they want to take advantage, yeah.
That's
right.
Yeah.
Their evenings are full.
Yeah.
So they just take the mornings off and the afternoons off.
Okay.
Very good. Very good.
That's all I have. Anybody else?
Anybody else?
Bob, what do you got going on?
I would like to speak to the community of Mount Sterling. I would like to tell the community of Mount Sterling how much I appreciate their patience and understanding in dealing with the problem that these 6 people took on. They have 6 council people, along with Jackie, Misty, Mark, and Courtney, the most dedicated and hardworking people that I've ever dealt with. They should be very proud of what they've got in this village hall right now. They're working very hard every day to make this community what it used to be. Proud. And I thank them for their patience and understanding and not criticizing, giving us a chance to work this thing out. And I thank the whole community for that. And that's all I got. Meeting adjourned.
There you go. Educational.
What'd she say?
She said, Billy, you talked harder than you did.
Yeah, did he?
Oh, really? Yeah, he said he got civil.
Yes.
Can you tell me how this?
Yes, ma'am, you
This is
can.
going to take 1 week.
Other update you had, sorry, I'm
I'm sorry, honey.
what was your update for the Black Watch? I had to use the back
For the,
for the Black Watch.
What about the people who
I'll tell you what, give you one precious second.
ain't gonna happen, you know what I'm saying?
We're working, because it's slowly coming back. My understanding, it's been a long time.
Can I quote you on it?
Wait a minute, I'll give you a copy of it, yes, ma'am, you can.
Okay.
Them days they call
Press that, I'll get you a
Okay.
copy.
if there's help relief.
Matter of fact, they